No. 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 Oh my god! Guys, I think I might have just unironically discovered the coolest outfit in existence. Check it out! Not only am I an alchemist, I'm also the pilot of a giant anime mecha. It's the coolest outfit ever. You want to see it? Check it out. Yeah, everything is bathed in red, or maybe orange, I'm not really sure. Okay, hey everybody, how you doing? Tekking and Barry back again, and today we got a video on One Piece Film Red, the movie that will shake your very foundations about what it means to be a One Piece fan. So, we don't have anything, like, tremendously, like, you know, new with the movie, like, we don't know the plot or anything beyond just, like, the really basic stuff. I just basically wanted to do a video to kind of just look back at all the information we have gained ever since the announcement was made. Because remember, this movie was announced back in November already, because I remember I did my Shanks Giving video on it. So that was already December, January, February, March. That's like almost 5 months. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4... 5? Yeah, 4 or 5 months, whatever, some number of months ago, this happened already, so it's moving fast, and it's coming out in early August, as long as the opening date, stays the same and everything like that. So, we got some new information, some new artwork, we know the name of the, well, I hesitate to say main villain of the movie, because we don't know much about her yet, but I'm going to assume she will probably be, but I guess we'll see. First thing I want to say is, the overall premise of the movie, like what it's based around. Very similar to the way Stampede was based around the Straw Hats visiting the Pirate Fest. This movie is going to be all about the Music Fest on some random island, okay? That's literally all we know about the actual plot, is that the Straw Hats will go to a music festival, okay? So yeah, I mean, we've definitely seen this premise before, like literally in the last movie we've kind of seen this, but at the end of the day, you gotta remember, these movies are sort of like a celebration of the One Piece franchise as a whole. So when I went to go see Stampede in theaters, I'm not sitting there in the theater seats like, why are the Straw Hats attending a festival for pirates? Do they not know this is going to be a trap? Why is there even a festival for pirates existing in this world? Don't you think the Marines would immediately try to buster call the crap out of it? But no, it's like, it's a big festival. It's an event, okay? It's like you're at a One Piece movie, and this franchise is awesome, so enjoy it. Considering this one is also a big theme with music, I'm expecting a lot of really top-level songs with this, okay? I don't think it's going to be a situation either where they just get, like, one band to do the music in the movie. I would really appreciate them to get, like, a bunch of bands together to do the soundtrack of this movie, if that would be at any at all possible, okay? And, just even if we're just gonna stay with, like, J-pop and J-rock, let's get the Pillows in there, because I'm a huge Foolie Cooley fan, man. If this is gonna be a movie, a One Piece movie, all about music, and they get, like, a bunch of bands involved, then, like, yeah, let's throw the Pillows in there because they're my favorite, but let's get a bunch of other ones that have done, like, One Piece openings in the past and stuff. Like, let's just do that. Why not, right? So, also, because music is a big theme, you gotta say something about Brook being the musician of the Straw Hat Pirates. Now, so far, nothing has been stated in the movie itself, like, Brook is going to have, like, an integral role, and he probably won't. But then again, that could be the twist, like, we think this is a movie all about Shanks, right? But then Brook shows up, and he just walks out at the beginning of the movie, and he's like, yo ho ho ho, hi everybody, just wanted to let you know, I'm actually the main character this time around, okay? And then, like, Luffy and the rest of the Straw Hats are just in the background the entire time, and it's a whole movie about Brook. Honestly speaking, if the Straw Hats are going to a music festival, you could seriously have a subplot involving Brook where he wants to play, like he's gonna play on the stage, like they're going to the music festival because the Soul King is in the Straw Hat crew. That would actually make a lot more sense than them just attending a random pirate festival thrown by some random person in the middle of the ocean. There could be this giant music festival, like the Woodstock of the One Piece world, right? Or like Bonnaroo or South by or something, and they just do this thing where I've never been to music festivals. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing those names correctly. But anyway, they go to this music festival. They get invited to this music festival because it's like, hey, we want the Soul King, the king of soul music, to play
at this festival. And it's like, we know you're a pirate, we know you're the Soul King Brook, and you have a bounty on your head and everything, but hey, you don't tell the Marines, we're not going to. We want him to come here, we want him to sing. And so you could have this like subplot. It wouldn't be the focus of the movie, but it'd be like a subplot where the Straw Hats go to this music festival and they're hanging out there and like, hey Brook, when's your concert? When do you go on? And Brook's like, yo ho ho ho, oh, my concert's not until tomorrow, right? And then of course the actual events of the movie happen. You know, the main villain shows up. Maybe that's when Shanks shows up. Maybe Shanks is just going to the festival. Honestly, this is making way more sense as a premise for this movie. Shanks is, yeah, he's a Yonko, and he's got his duties as a Yonko. He's visiting the Gorosei and talking about certain pirates and doing really serious stuff. But let's not forget, 95% of the time, whenever Shanks shows up in this story, which is only about maybe 3% of the whole damn thing, but every time he does show up, he's usually partying, right? He's hanging out on a random jungle island getting drunk with Mihawk, or he's hanging out in a random mountain cave getting drunk with Ace, or he's hanging out somewhere else and getting drunk there. One of the cover series, he went to a wedding. There was probably booze at that wedding, right? Okay, so he likes to party. So this really would not be that crazy of an idea to say the Straw Hats go to a music festival so Brook could play in this concert or whatever, and then Shanks just happens to be hanging out there with his crew, partying and having a good time. Hell, maybe the music festival is on an island that Shanks controls as a Yonko, which would make way more sense than the pirate festival from Stampede, where it was just some island that just some dude was running. It wasn't like controlled or manipulated by a Yonko or any powerful force. Like, this would make sense. Like, there's a music festival on an island controlled by red-haired Shanks. Even if pirates are going to go to this, even if the Straw Hats are going to be there and the Marines know that they're going to be there, like, you know, sir, we have a report. Soul King Brook is going to play at this concert on this island. He's like, oh, we got them now. I bet Straw Hat Luffy's going to be there too. His whole crew. We can bring them in. Which island is it? Well, actually, sir, it's an island controlled by red-haired Shanks. Oh, crap. So do you want us to send the Marines? No. That's cool. That's fine. We'll get them next time, I guess. You know, grrr, Straw Hats. You know, that would actually make way more freaking sense. It was on Shanks's island, and maybe Shanks is not like right there at the beginning. Maybe it's a thing where the Straw Hats arrive at the island and they see the red-hair pirate's flag over the banner of the island at like the entrance to the festival, and Luffy's like, oh my god, that's Shanks's flag. And Robin maybe tells Luffy, oh yeah, red-haired Shanks owns this island. And maybe some of the officials from the music festival go up and explain the whole situation, like, yeah, you don't have to worry about anything. Red-haired Shanks controls this island. The Marines, the government, they're not going to do anything here, right? And of course, maybe Luffy would be like, is Shanks here right now? It's like, oh, no. He just lets us use the island for the festival, right? He very rarely shows up, but maybe he will. I mean, and then maybe Shanks will show up maybe closer to like the halfway point of the movie or something like that. Like, he won't be there at the very beginning. But that would make a lot of sense in terms of the structure for why the Straw Hats are going there because of Brook's concert, and why is this island, you know, immune from being attacked by the government or the Marines. Boom, it's Shanks's island. I think I just nailed it right there. Okay. Also, because we're talking about music, I feel like Apu has to make an appearance, even if it's just like maybe one of the other acts, maybe one of the other bands that are playing at this music festival. Maybe they also invited the Sea Roar Scratchman Apu. Now, if I had a choice between some other supernovas to show up in this movie, I would pick, you know, pretty much any other one. But sure, Apu is the musician captain of the on-air pirates. I would assume he would probably make an appearance here, even if it's just a cameo. Like, he's there and he's singing a song, but then maybe when shit gets real and stuff starts like happening and people get like killed and, you know, the island is being attacked by whatever, maybe Apu is just like, all right, time for me to get out of here. he just bails, you know, kind of similar from what he's doing right now in Onigashima, right? He just wants to get the hell out. Might be something like that. So yeah, that was pretty much just the one sentence we have for the plot of the movie. The Straw Hats attend a music festival, and then me going crazy with my headcanon. But to be fair, I think a lot of what I just said makes a lot of sense, okay? So let's take a look at some artwork here. So the first thing I want to show you, this is some finalized artwork for the Straw Hats, I think their initial outfits in the movie. The Straw Hats usually go through a few different outfit changes throughout the course. They usually have outfits they wear at the beginning, and then during the final act, like I said, when their final battles are occurring, they'll switch out into different outfits, okay? So I really honestly do not think the Straw Hats are going to be be wearing these outfits for the majority of the movie. Like, we got the initial outfits for Stampede, and I think they were only in those for, like, the first 10 minutes of the movie, and then they switched out or whatever, honestly. So, these are their initial outfits, though, and I love every single one of them. First, we have Luffy wearing a t-shirt that I originally, in the sketch art of this, when Oda just drew it, I thought that image on Luffy's shirt was a brick wearing a straw hat. And actually, a lot of people sent me images when that sketch was released. Like, holy crap, Luffy's wearing Barry on his shirt. And I'm like, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, holy crap, is it? Is he wearing a shirt with a brick wearing a straw hat? And then it's a microphone. It's like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. But I got my hopes up there for a second, yeah. So yeah, despite the lack of a brick, it's still a pretty cool outfit. It's also a ribbon microphone that is wearing the straw hat. A ribbon microphone, yeah. I went to school for broadcast journalism. I know my types of microphones, absolutely. He also has this really cool, like, vest or harness that has, I don't know, I guess they're supposed to be speakers, but they also look like fans. Like, I don't know, it's like some weird thing Luffy's wearing. That honestly looks like something somebody would have just sold him. Like, hey, kid, you need to buy this, like, this new invention. It's a vest that's also a fan. Luffy would be gullible enough to buy that, but whatever, it looks cool. Let's see, Zoro and Sanji's outfits are probably the most normal out of all of them here. You know, I like Sanji's outfit where he's wearing shorts with then a tank top with a plaid shirt under the tank top, and then a yellow blazer on top of the tank top and plaid shirt. So, yeah, maybe on closer inspection, it's actually one of the weirder outfits. But Zoro's is cool. Zoro has just, like, jeans, and it looks like some, like, belts and, like steel hoops on his belt or whatever, and he has, like, just the ripped shirt. Like he had the shirt that was, like, too tight, so he just ripped it, and he, like, made a V-neck of a shirt. So I think Zoro looks pretty cool. He's also wearing a necklace that is very much like his earrings. So Zoro, and often people forget this because it's such a little detail with Zoro's design. Zoro wears earrings. He has 3 earrings on his right ear that are reminiscent of Santoryu, his 3-sword style. So he actually now has a necklace with the same, like, pendants on it, which I think is really cool that they gave him that. Usopp is the coolest because he's just dressed like Gene Simmons from Kiss. Very Kiss inspired by the outfit, 70s rock. You got the giant shoulder pads, like it's like Kiss, but then dialed up to anime levels of ridiculousness in terms of the outfit. So it looks really cool. Usopp has a cape. He has the shoulder guards with the spikes coming out of them, the full leather. It just makes me disappointed that Usopp will probably not be in this outfit for the majority of the movie. I'm calling it right now. These outfits are cool. These designs are awesome, but I doubt they're going to be wearing them for more than 15 minutes of the movie, okay? Just for the fact that it might also be more difficult on the animators to draw them with these really elaborate outfits. So I think they're going to ditch these outfits relatively early on in the movie. But man, if we could get Gene Simmons Usopp for the whole runtime, absolutely, yeah. Chopper is just dressed like, I think he's going to, like, a more, like, traditional Japanese festival with just, like, the candles in his hat and then the fans and everything like that. So he just looks like he's in festival mode. Nami is wearing an orange bikini for this one, very much like that. She was wearing the orange, well, orange is her color because of her hair, but also the Mekons and everything, but she wore the orange overalls in Stampede, so she's wearing, like, a, sort of looks like a Scottish sort of, like, kilt sort of inspired skirt, and then she's wearing just, yeah, the orange bikini. Also, I don't know if that's a necklace or, like, a temporary tattoo that she has on her, like collar area. I don't really know, but I guess, you know, that we'll find out in the movie. Let's see. Brook is really cool. Brook is wearing a purple hoodie, and he's dyed his hair blonde, and he's wearing them in, like, pigtails or whatever. So, rock on, Brook. I have a feeling like they are going to this festival because of Brook. Like, that it just makes sense to me, right? The Soul King is making a comeback tour, all right? Just because he's a pirate doesn't mean he can't rock out, all right? Robin, honestly, Robin probably looks the most normal. Her and Zoro and probably Nami as well. So yeah, Robin's outfit, we really honestly can't see much of it here, but it looks like she's just wearing, like, a white bikini top and then, like, a black leather jacket over that. So rock on, Robin. Also, I don't know if it's just with the lighting here, but it also looks like the top part of her head has been dyed purple. So awesome. And then let's see, we have, of course, Jinbei dressed as the king, Elvis Aaron Presley, damn it. I love that. I love that they're taking references not just from, like, Japanese music, but also from other parts of the world. Obviously it's a movie that's going to air in Japan, so obviously there's going to be a lot of like Japanese music involved here and Japanese bands and everything. That's why I said I want the Pillows to make an appearance. But I'm telling you what, like I like that they take references from Kiss and Elvis, like more Western ideas. So it's just like, music from maybe all over the world might be represented in this movie. That would actually be really cool if there's different like bands. I don't know how they would do this, but they would get bands. I don't know how licensing would work or anything, but like different bands from like all over the world. So they have Japanese bands as like the majority, but then they have bands from like North America, South America, Europe, and stuff. Like that would be really cool. But yeah, Jinbei's just dressed as Elvis, and that's awesome. Will Jinbei make an Elvis impression? I don't know. Will Jinbei Elvis sing some of the greatest hits from the King? I don't know, but we'll find out. There's actually a movie about Elvis coming out, I think around the same time as Film Red. I think it's coming out in July that I really want to see. So yeah. And then finally, I've saved the best for last, of course. We have Frankie. I don't know how to describe his outfit. Frankie is dressed like a 1980s era boombox, with the speaker grills being his orbs, with the cassette deck being his nipples, like the things that, I don't know what they're called, but the things that turn the cassettes. Cassettes were a thing we had to use back in the 90s to listen to music, okay? But they're his nipples, which are great. And then he has, I didn't even notice this until just now. He's got like the look, I was at a convention the other day and I just bought a Super Nintendo because the one I had when I was a kid was destroyed by me. But I had to buy a different story. I'll tell you another time. But I had to buy a new Super Nintendo, so I had it and I was playing some Super NES upstairs the other day, and I had to hook it up with like the RCA inputs and stuff like that. With like the yellow cable is the video, and then red and white are the audio left and right outputs. And so I'm like, I had to hook this up, and actually my TV upstairs is a smart TV, and it actually did not even have inputs for them. So I had to take my TV out of like my bedroom and then like plug it in to play my SNES. So I'm like, I didn't even notice these until just now. Frankie has the RCA inputs on his like stomach, and he has other inputs on his side. My God. And then his arms have like random, I guarantee you those are just random lights. The thing that's behind Robin right here, they're just random lights that don't even mean anything. But man, I would love the Straw Hats to stay in these outfits for the majority of the movie, but I doubt they will. But man, they look awesome. Okay. And it's just a love letter to various bands and across time. Like Kiss Kiss is still around, but in the 70s, they were at their peak there, like the Kiss Army and everything like that. And then Frankie's kind of reminiscent of like late 80s, 90s. We have Jinbei representing the 1950s with Elvis. It's just awesome, right? Yeah, we're going to get some really cool stuff in this movie. Okay, so that's like the updated sketch art from that. Now I'm going to be showcasing some new artwork, and I'm just going to do these in any random order that I have them here in the folder, okay? So first up we have Brook. These are the artwork I'm thinking they're going to use during the final battles. This is Final Battle Brook in One Piece Film Red, okay? And now he's just completely ready to go. He is spiky. Spiky is the theme here. Frankie also has it as well. Some like hard rock, punk, I'm not really sure. I also wanted to bring up Kid, because Eustace Kid's pirate crew, by the way, we just got the reveal of his crew during the SBS. Oda drew sketch art for all of them. Actually, I don't think all of them. I think he drew sketch art for like 20-something members of Kid's crew, and I think there's 31 or 32 members confirmed, so we'll get into that in another video. But yeah, so Kid being like themed after like a punk band from like, the UK and stuff, because there was like, Anarchy in the BM was the name of that chapter. It was in reference to Anarchy in the UK, and there's a lot of references to like the punk scene in like the 70s and 80s for Kid's crew, names like Heat and Wire and everything. So maybe Kid will make an appearance and they'll maybe be part of the concert, who knows. But we have Brook here wearing just a leather jacket with his sword, Soul Solid, spikes coming out of only one side of his arm, and then we have the bandana and then the spiky afro. What I love about Brook is that Brook, his idea is that he has to protect his afro at all costs, because it's like very near and dear to him, and it's the only thing that maybe Laboon might recognize once he finally reunites with his whale companion, right? And yet, even despite that, in the movies, he styles it, dyes it, he molds it into a spiky afro. I mean, hey, when you're a 90-year-old skeleton with that luscious head of hair, I mean, you gotta go with it, right? Absolutely. So that's Brook. Next we have Nami. Like I said, this is in no particular order. Nami is looking pretty cool. She's got some fishnets there, giant belts. She's got some underboob showing with her, like, I don't even know what you would call that, her top, okay? And then a pirate hat. She's got like a tricorn hat with like the little floofy thing off the side. Also, she has a sword, and that's something I want to bring up. In this final battle artwork, 7 out of the 10 Straw Hats have a sword now. Not just Zoro and Brook. That's great, okay? We actually do not have final battle artwork for Jinbei yet. That might come out a little bit later. So we'll see if he has a sword, but I love it. The only Straw Hats that do not have swords in these final battle artworks are Usopp and Frankie. Everyone else has a sword. I don't know if they're going to be using them in the movie, but whatever. It's going to be cool. All right. Also, something I just noticed with Nami, her gloves look really cool, too. I like the little frilly gloves. That's nice. Then we have Frankie right there, Battle Frankie 37. Also, going along with the Spike kind of punk theme, he's got a super awesome mohawk. He's got spikes coming out of his orbs. He's dyed his arms pink, which I think works with the black and pink. Also, once again, I don't know if that's an actual tattoo or a temporary tattoo or whatever, but we got BF37 just emblazoned on his chest. And he's got like a gas mask going on. Man, that would be awesome if at the end of the movie, after the Straw Hats defeat the main villains or whatever, the Straw Hats just go up on stage with Brook and they all just rock out together. That would be an awesome finale. Like it plays over the ending credits of the movie. Dude, that would be epic. Absolutely. Let's see, who's next? We got Robin! This is my favorite. I mean, Frankie's is epic and stuff, but it's Robin. I mean, come on. So Robin now has a different leather jacket. She's got a belt. She's got a corset. She has a sword. She's wearing like knight leggings, like leggings that like a knight would wear in like shining armor or whatever. She's got a white bikini top, got an awesome necklace, like a choker around her neck. She's got like a bandana thing wrapped around her head. Her hair is now wavy, so she styled her hair. I love it. And once again, the sword. It's great. Awesome. Let's see. She looks like a true pirate. I love that random. I always love leather jackets and the random zippers that they have. Okay, people out there that actually wear leather jackets like regularly, okay? Do your zippers, do you actually keep stuff in the random zippers that you have, or are they just like there for show mostly? Because I've had a few leather jackets where the zippers are just for show, but another ones where like, no, they're actually a bunch of pockets. Like, I have like 17 pockets in this jacket right now, right? What does Robin keep in that pocket in her left sleeve? I just need to know this, okay? Moving on, we now have Zoro. Zoro kind of gives me a Renaissance rocker kind of feel. Yeah, he's got a leather jacket, but he also has like the cravat kind of thing he's wearing, if that's how you pronounce that. Cravat? I don't know how you pronounce it, but he's got that. He also has just like a giant chain. It's not even like a wallet chain where you have like a chain on your wallet or whatever into your jeans. No, it's an actual length of like industrial strength chain, like you would hoist like a crane with or something. He has that, right? And of course, this is the movie debut of Enma. So we see Enma there along with the Sandai Katetsu and with the Wado Ichimonji. So I guess it's a movie, so it's not canon, but I guess if it's going to fit somewhere in the canon of One Piece, I guess this movie would take place post-Wano because he has the Enma. Unless the music festival takes place on Wano. It's like, yeah, man, we defeated Kaido and Orochi, and now we're gonna jam out! When I was a kid, whenever I would get home from school, here's a little bit of a story. My mom would always work late, and it would be my dad would be home when I would get home, okay? So he would get me my dinner, and he would help me with my homework. But after everything was done there, after I finished my homework and everything, I would go watch cartoons downstairs. And my dad, he's a big fan of, like, 1970s rock. Like, he really loves, like, you know, Ted Nugent, Led Zeppelin, you know, Pink Floyd, you know, all those kind of bands, you know? So that's what I listened to growing up, basically. But after he helped me with my homework, my dad would go upstairs and he'd be like, all right, I'm just going to go jam out for a little while. And my dad had this giant speaker system in his room, and he would just go there and just lay on his bed and just jam out for like an hour or two. That was like his moment, and then I would be downstairs watching Courage the Cowardly Dog or something. So yeah, that's just a little memory I have there. But yeah, going back to Zoro, he looks really cool. Let's see, who's next? Usopp, right, so Usopp does not have a sword, he doesn't need one. He's got his kabuto, dressed out completely in leather boots, leather shorts, leather vest, a leather hood, I guess. He's got spikes on his arm as like the little bracelet there. He's got like a pink satchel around his back and a little pink thing around his shorts. There's like a little pouch there. And I didn't even notice this until just now. The hat he's wearing has like eyes on it. Sort of reminiscent of a little bit of one of Big Mom's homies. I don't think it is, but I think it's just a hat that has eyes on it. But it's really cool. So just like, what does Robin keep in the sleeve pocket? What does Usopp keep in that? I bet he keeps all of his pop greens in there. It actually would make a lot of sense. It's kind of like Mista from JoJo, where Mista keeps extra bullets for his revolver in his hat, so he can just like flick his hat and then get the bullets in the gun and then fire them with his stand, right? So maybe Usopp is going to keep pop greens just in his hat, so he's just firing the shots. He can just reach into his hat and then fire off more pop greens there. So that's awesome. So we have Sanji here, who has a sword, and that surprises me because him and Zoro have the rivalry. I'm interested in why Sanji is carrying a sword, or if it's going to get brought up at all. Like, they get changed, he walks out. He has more of like a military-esque kind of jacket with the I used to know what those things were called, those arm things with the tassels on them. I know what those are called. Hold on, I gotta look that up. I know what these things are called. Give me a second. Epaulets or epaulets. I can't pronounce the word. That's another problem, but that's what they're called. Okay, anyway. So yeah, he's got that. He's got his sword. They're all like cutlasses and stuff, like sabers and things. I really love the like belt he's wearing for the sword. That's like a really. He's also wearing like knightly sort of leggings. His pants are like ripped up, and he's got like a really cool like V-neck like shirt with like the cross design there. So that's really neat. And also looks like Sanji's hair also got wavier. So during the final scene of the movie, they went out to a hair salon. Robin and Sanji got their hair made very wavy, and he's also rocking some awesome shades there and a cigarette. Awesome. And then finally, we just have, we have Luffy. We haven't covered Luffy yet. Okay. Yeah, so we have Luffy here. Also a giantly, comically oversized leather jacket, which is reminiscent of whenever I go clothing shopping, basically. This is me going clothing shopping in a store. Man, that jacket looks really badass. Oh, man, they have it in a small. I put it on, and it's still, like, down to here. And I'm like, damn it! That's usually me whenever I buy any sort of jacket, right? Even the jacket I'm wearing right now, which I like, is still a little bit too, like, long on me. Actually, you know what? I'll go get it. Hold on. Okay, so this is the jacket I currently wear in, like, the winter months. It's a really nice jacket, but as you can see here, yeah, the sleeves are still kind of too big for me. But hey, at this point in my life, you gotta just, if you find something that kind of fits, just gotta go with it. I'm gonna wear this for the rest of the video. Why not? So yeah, Luffy's designed giant leather jacket with a bunch of different, like, pins and spikes and, stuff and zippers, of course, and pockets. What does Luffy keep in his pockets? And a giant, once again, sort of comically oversized tricorn hat with a ribbon tied around it with the Jolly Roger there. He's got spiky bracelets and everything, and a pink sword. Damn straight, and torn up shorts. And he's still wearing the same sandals, though. So yeah, that's Luffy. And then we have Chopper as the final one. Like I said, Jinbei's has not been revealed yet. Chopper also has a sword on his back. That's cute. He has a shirt that kind of looks like the British flag a little bit there. So like a pink version of the British flag. Yeah, so we also have him wearing a hat on top of his hat with a spike coming out of it as well, and goggles. How does he wear those goggles? If he tries to lower those goggles, they have to get over the brim of his hat, and also his antlers are going to prevent the goggles from going down. So this is just aesthetic, I understand. But yeah, he also has a giant chain on his hat. So I also look forward to seeing Chopper's outfit, when he goes into his different forms and everything like that. We need to see Monster Point Chopper wearing a really cool, like, punk outfit in this movie. That would be really nice. It also looks like he's wearing, like, a different, like, it's like a tank top that's, like, blue on one side, and then it's, like, pink and, like, the British flag on the other side, so I'm not really sure about that. But, yeah, so that's the new artwork for the Straw Hats and probably the final stage of the movie. But we have one more piece of artwork we have to talk about now, and that is the design of the main villain of the movie. I guess I shouldn't say main villain. We don't really know what her deal is. I feel like she's going to be the main villain, but who knows? Hold on, where is she? There she is. Okay. So this is the new female character being introduced in Film Red. We got an indication of her presence during the teaser poster, which was just the sketch of, like, someone that apparently looked like a member of a sky race, like a Skypian or a Bjerrekin or something. She could be. Maybe she's a whole new sky race we've never met before. Maybe she's not a Shandian, Bjerrekin, or Skypian, something else. And her name has actually been revealed to be Uta. Uta. And we don't know the kanji, but Uta can be read as song or singing in Japanese. There's another kanji that means poetry, though, like traditional Japanese poetry, but also just like poetry in general. So far, her name's only been written in the katakana Uta, so we don't really know what Oda's going for here, but considering Uta means singing or song, I guarantee you, I bet my bottom dollar this character is going to have some sort of song-based devil fruit, okay? And the text behind her actually says, Luffy, I want you to stop being a pirate, or Luffy, stop being a pirate. So there's something involved with this character here, something where she is connected to Shanks, as well as wanting Luffy to stop being a pirate. So let's just go over her design really quick, and then we'll get into that. So I really like her hair. I love the red and white design of the hair there. She has these giant, like, headphones on. We saw her speaking into, like, a headset in the teaser poster, so maybe there's, like, a headset that, like, pops out of that, like a microphone, so she can sing, which might amplify her devil fruit power if she has one. She also is wearing, like, a giant jacket, but it's not a leather jacket. It actually looks like one of those, like, letter jackets that you get in high school. I never played any sports in high school, so I never got one of those, but I knew people that had them, right? So it looks like a giant, like, Letterman jacket or something that she's wearing that is way too big for her. But yeah, and it's also covering up her wings, because we know she's a member of the Sky Race, so she has this giant jacket that's covering up her wings. Why is she wearing a jacket that's covering up her wings? That might be another thing too. Maybe she doesn't want people to know she's from the sky. There might be another thing involving a subplot there, so pay attention with that, maybe involving her character in some way. We also see a Jolly Roger behind her. It's slightly obscured, but you get the basic premise. It has her hair, it has the headphones, and her wings. So yeah, I guess maybe if that's the case, she doesn't care. Maybe it's just she just likes wearing the jacket. Oh, and one more thing too. I think I might have addressed this before in another installment, but Oda actually has like a statement on the movie that was released during Jump Fest, and I don't know if I did a video on that or not, but by the way, I'm getting all this stuff off of Artur's Twitter, so thanks to Artur. Go and follow him below for a lot of One Piece information and stuff when it becomes available. Okay, so I'm just gonna read this here, and then he's talking about Film Red. So he's like, and then there's Film Red, an unknown girl, Shanks, Luffy. Speaking of Shanks, the truth is that he's still a character of many mysteries. Woo! What's his relationship with the girl? Will he meet Luffy? This is the first time Shanks has properly appeared in a movie after all. Oh, he will appear. They tried to stop me from announcing anything, but I went and said it, so I win! Oh, Oda, you're awesome. Although, dude, I have to say, like, the way he phrased that made it seem like, okay, Oda, don't be dropping any information about this movie. Don't be spoiling anything about this movie. It's like, oh, you can't stop me. Shanks is gonna be in this. It's like, I think we pretty much already assumed that. I mean, given the fact that it's called One Piece Film Red, and the logo has Shanks' scar in it, so we assumed, like, if Shanks did not show up in this movie, I think people would be pretty damn pissed, okay? Or if he just shows up at the very end. Artur also shared an image the other day that was just a sketch art of Shanks' legs, and it's just like, ooh, Shanks' legs have been confirmed for One Piece Film Red, everybody. Oh man, it would be such a troll job if the whole movie is just about the Straw Hats at this concert fighting against Uta. Uta probably has, like, maybe it's like her band. Maybe she's like the lead singer of this band, and then like her bandmates are like the main enemies the Straw Hats have to face. So there's like a bass player, a guitar player, a drummer. If that's the way we're going with this, can we have the drummer fight against Frankie? That's all I'm asking, okay? Maybe the bass player is like fighting with like a bass guitar, but then it turns into a sword or something and he starts clashing with Zoro or whatever. And then the lead singer, I would honestly, you know what? Considering we're doing a music theme with this movie, have Brook and Luffy team up for maybe a combo attack. Not saying that has to be the whole focus of the fight, but have a moment where maybe Uta and her band or something attacks them with sound, and then, you know, Brook shows up and then blocks the attack, or then Brook and Luffy use an attack together or something. Let's have at least a little bit of focus on Brook, since music is a theme here, obviously. So, what is going on here with Shanks and this woman, Uta? What's happening here? Okay, so I have a theory, and the ones that I've come up with so far, I think make a lot of sense for the movie. This one, though, I'm just going out on a limb, okay? But here's my thought on this, okay? Here's my idea, all right? I think they're going to go to this island with the music festival, and Uta is going to be, like, the leader of, like, a band that has a lot of notoriety in the One Piece world. might even rival, Soul King Brook in terms of like TD sales, the tone dial sales, which is like the One Piece equivalent of CDs. They use tone dials or TDs, okay? So she's the lead singer of this band. We don't know the name of it yet. We'll probably find it out. She also has a devil fruit very reminiscent of Brook's ability of the Yomi Yomi no Mi in order to move people's souls. That's why Brook rose to the charts to become such a famous singer in the One Piece world, is because using his Yomi Yomi no Mi, he can resonate with the souls of the crowd and make them feel emotions times 10 or whatever, okay? And then we even found that out when like Brook was in that little bit of a depression and he didn't know what to sing about. Like they couldn't really feel his soul, okay? So that's how he really resonates with the crowd. I think that Uta has an ability very similar to that. Instead of it being a music fruit like a Poo's that is able to turn like sound waves into like damage, it's more of like a music ability that allows her to manipulate other people. Not like Brook's, where Brook's is more of just manipulating or like swaying people's emotions. Hers might be straight up brainwashing, okay? Hers might just be like, listen to my song! It's like, yes, we'll listen to your song! It might be something like that, right? Buy my CDs! Buy my TDs! It's like, we will buy them. All hail Plankton. All hail Plankton. The helmets can't handle this level of rock and roll! Yeah, might be something like that. She might have some kind of manipulation, brainwashing, devil fruit through the power of song or music. It might be something like that, okay? So that would make it different from Apu's, which is more battle-based, and different from Brook's, which is more soul-based, okay? Hers, like, literally manipulates your mind. I guess Apu's does that a little bit because he can use the fighting music to, like, not really manipulate the numbers, but he was able to kind of, like, they're really simple kind of creatures, so he was able to, like, get them back up and fighting. I think that's what fighting music does for Apu. I don't think it's, like, straight-up brainwashing, but this woman might have that ability, okay? And so she would probably have, like, her backup dancers and her bandmates and everybody that can fight more traditional ways. They might have devil fruits as well, and then they go up against the Straw Hats, and then it's Uta versus Luffy as like the main clash there. The reason that she does not want Luffy to be a pirate, what if it's a thing where she has like she really respects Shanks. Now, when I say respects Shanks, that could be from, like, a direction of, like, she wants Shanks to be king of the pirates. Or it could be a romantic angle with it. I don't want to immediately go to the romantic angle just because she's a woman. Like, she has to be fawning over Shanks. We're all fawning over Shanks, personally. I would go out with him. I'm just saying. But, like, the idea is that maybe she really wants Shanks to be king of the pirates. And Shanks doesn't really want that. It's not, like, that's not really his goal. Okay, and so he refuses that, and so she's looking over at Luffy, and Luffy's talking about how he wants to be king of the pirates, and then she's like, no, I want you to stop being the king of the pirates. I want you to give up on your dream, and I want Shanks to be the one at the top, okay? Might be a situation actually maybe more similar to Ace and Whitebeard, where Ace gave up his dream so he could make Whitebeard, his dream, come to fruition. So Whitebeard could become the king at the top, or the strongest. That wasn't even Whitebeard's dream. That was sort of like Ace's, like, okay, I know you don't want to be king, or you don't want to be the strongest in the world, but I'm gonna make you that, okay? That was like Ace's philosophy there for Whitebeard, okay? But the point is, Ace gave up his dream for that reason, okay? So if she has an ability that can brainwash others, what if she actually brainwashes Luffy through song? Like, the Straw Hats all show up at the festival, they're rocking out, they're having a good time, and then boom, Uta walks out, and it's like a really cool scene in the movie. Like, the vibe completely changes in the movie, where the animation gets knocked up to like the 10th level, and then Uta and her band walk out, and they're like dancing all over the stage, and then she begins to sing, and then the song like resonates throughout the crowd. Like, we can tell she's doing something with the sound, and then it hits Luffy right in the face, and then Luffy is just like, and then she sings this song, and it, like, manipulates Luffy, so he doesn't want to be king of the pirates anymore, or something like that. And then that's the major problem. And then Shanks shows up to reaffirm, like, just like Shanks was the one that inspired Luffy to be king of the pirates, Shanks shows up again in this movie to bring back Luffy, to get his drive back. Like, he's just, like, his mind is just changed to the point where it's like, I don't want to be king of the pirates anymore. I don't even really want to be a pirate anymore, guys. And he looks over to the Straw Hats, and he's like, guys, I don't even know why we're doing this. I disband the Straw Hat crew. I don't even want to do this anymore. And then the crew is like, Luffy, what's wrong? And it's just like, I just don't want to be a pirate anymore, guys. I just want to hang out here and then just rock out. I want to be a musician from now on. I think that's my real calling, right? And then Uta's in the background like... You know, it's just like, you know, it's like that was her plan all along. But the Straw Hats can't do anything. It's like, well, if the captain wants to disband the crew, I mean, if we have to have a captain. We can't, you know, be a pirate crew if we don't have a captain, right? So what are we going to do? And then they start thinking like, okay, well, why did Luffy want to become king of the pirates to begin with? Zoro would probably speak up, and Zoro would be like, well, it's because of red hair Shanks. He told me that story, right? I don't even know. I'm sure the Straw Hats all know that Shanks inspired Luffy, but I think Zoro's the only one he really told the story to, right? So it would actually be really interesting if Zoro speaks up and he's like, well, Luffy told me this whole story when I first met him. Red hair Shanks, he was the one that inspired him. And then Shanks shows up, and then we have like maybe a reminiscent scene where Luffy maybe takes off his straw hat and throws it away. Shanks grabs it and puts it back on him and just like, you will be a great pirate. And that breaks the brainwashing spell or whatever. Now, I know Luffy getting brainwashed, that's kind of like, are we really going to be doing this? Wouldn't he have his haki that would prevent that or something? It's a movie, you know, it's a movie. As long as, like, you know, this doesn't happen in, like, real in the manga or something, you know, then I'm fine with it. In a movie, I'm a lot more forgiving of this kind of stuff, right? But Shanks is going to be involved. There's a woman that doesn't want Luffy to be a pirate. I'm just syncing it up like there's going to be a lot of moments there that are going to be reminiscent of the first meeting between, well, not the first meeting, but when Shanks gave Luffy the Straw Hat, that iconic moment that we've seen so many times in this story throughout flashbacks. I think there's going to be a scene reminiscent of that, where Luffy gets his mind back, he remembers who he was and what he really wants to be. Shanks takes off the hat, puts it back on Luffy, and it's like, hey, remember what I told you? Next time we meet, you'll become a great pirate. I know this was a little bit of a different thing, but just forget about this moment. This was a movie. Who cares? Next time, you'll be a great pirate. Kind of setting it up for when they will properly meet in the manga. So there we go. That's, I think, all of the news involving Film Red. I had a lot more stuff to talk about than I thought, really. I think, honestly, a lot of the ideas I threw out today, I'm not usually one to be like, man, yeah, these ideas, they're totally going to happen. But for some reason, I feel very confident with at least a few of those things. I think just because it's a movie, and movies are a lot more predictable, I think. Because they're not going to try anything crazy new with it. I think the fact that Shanks is going to be in this is sort of just like, that's crazy enough, right? And it's not going to be canon. They're not going to really maybe tie it into the story. I mean, we might find out stuff that is canon about Shanks' character. I still hope we get some flashbacks involving him. Maybe we learn a little bit more about Shanks that might carry over into the manga. But in terms of the actual plot of what's going to happen, that's not going to be canon. Think of it similar to Strong World in the same way, right? But anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching. Let me know down below what you guys think about this. Yeah, rock on, everybody. Oh, no! We gotta do goat facts. Yeah, I completely forgot. I had this all written down. I have an intro. So yeah, and it's perfect because we're talking about hard rock and everything in this video. Let's cue that goat fact intro. Let's go! Goat! 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 Goat fact! Yeah! Oh, yeah, that might be one of my favorite intros we've gotten for Animal Facts, okay? Thanks to JP1 Freak. I'll leave a link to their channel down below. They were the ones that took my audio from the last video and threw it together to make the first Goat Fact intro. I think that'll probably be the only one because that's a pretty hard rock one. And I just throw up some images of goats, and it's GOAT. It's the greatest of all time. All right, so Goat Facts. Let's kick off with some simple ones. Goats were one of the first animals to be domesticated by human beings. The general consensus is it's around 10,000 years ago they were domesticated for human use. That was right around the time wolves were being domesticated to become what would be the modern doggos, okay? So goats and dogs have actually spent probably equal amount of time around humans, and for that reason, there's been studies that have been done that have actually shown that dog and human relationships can actually be very similar to like dog and goat sort of relationships, just in the way that like, you know, like the both like species kind of are like beneficial to one another. So let's see. 2% of all milk production on the planet comes from goat milk. So there you go. I've never had goat milk. At least I don't remember having goat milk. Like I said, I grew up on a farm kind of area, so I probably had goat milk at some point when I was a kid. But I had goat cheese before, which is basically the same thing. And goat cheese is pretty good. The way that it's homogenized, I think it actually does not need to be homogenized. It's different from cow milk and to make cheese. But yeah, goat milk is actually, goat cheese is actually pretty good. Try it out if you haven't. Goats are really curious. There's a common thing that like goats will eat pretty much anything. Like there's the trope of like a goat like eating a tin can or whatever. So goats do not eat anything, and they're actually very picky eaters, but they will browse. So they'll pretty much find anything that even resembles something like plant matter or like leaves or grass or anything, vegetables and stuff, and they will chew on it to see if they like it, and if they don't like it, they'll spit it back out. So paper, cardboard, it doesn't matter. It's like something that's like, oh, is this good? No, and then they'll like spit it out. So they will not eat cardboard and like tin cans and stuff, but they'll at least like basically try everything. They're very curious. Let's see here. Both male and female goats can grow beards, so that's a thing. It depends on the species of goat as well. They're expert climbers, and they're also a little bit of something of escape artists, because if you have a goat in an enclosure, like in a fenced-in enclosure or whatever, if there is any weakness to that gate or that fence, even if there isn't any weaknesses, the goat might figure out a way to get out of it, because I think we've seen that goats can climb up like not straight walls. So if you have like a 90-degree angle and then it's like 91 or like 89-degree angle, either way, the goat will be able to climb up that. So we're going to be getting into those species and like mountain goats and stuff like that. But goats, they can pretty much climb anything. But yeah, and then also, along with cats, goats are the animal that can switch back to being feral the easiest, okay? So if a goat, is domesticated, but if a goat is just left out into the wild, we'll go back to being feral and a wild animal, and we'll probably have a fairly good chance of, like, survival. And I guess the same thing with cats. I've never owned a cat, but I guess if you just throw a cat out in the woods, I guess they also have a pretty good chance of just like, okay, I guess this is just life now. I don't know. Anyway, that's the first episode of Goat Facts. This is going to be a fun series. So stay tuned to the next ones. Thanks for watching, everybody. This will be Tekking and Barry signing out. Rock on, everyone.